If you read, the Holy Quran says in Surah Al-Imran, chapter number 3, verse number 104, that let there arise out of you a group of people who enjoin what is good and forbid what is wrong. And these are the ones to attain felicity. This verse of the Holy Quran speaks about full-time da'is. The earlier verse which I quoted of Surah Al-Imran chapter 3, verse number 110, and Surah Al-Asr chapter number 103, verse number 1 to 3, it was talking that every Muslim should do dawah, minimum. You should at least be a part-time da'i. You have to compulsory, you have to do dawah. But this verse of the Holy Quran talks about full-time da'is. Let there arise out of you a group of people enjoining what is good and forbidding what is wrong. These are the ones to attain felicity. How we have full-time doctors, full-time engineers, full-time advocates. How many full-time da'is do we have? We can hardly count them on our fingertips. Doing dawah part-time is compulsory for every Muslim. But amongst the Muslim Ummah, there should be few people. There should be a group who should be full-time da'is. And it is the duty of the rest of the Ummah to support these da'is. And the Holy Quran says in Surah Fussilat, chapter number 41, verse number 33, that who is better in speech than the person who invites to the way of thy Lord? Who is better? And the Holy Quran, Allah gives a promise in the Holy Quran. Allah says in no less than 3 different places. Allah says in Surah Tawbah, chapter number 9, verse number 33. And in Surah Saf, chapter number 61, verse number 9, he says, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَالدِّينُ الْحَقِّ لِيَظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. That we have sent the messenger with guidance and the religion of truth, so that it will prevail over all the other ways of life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the Deenul Haq, Islam, the religion of truth, will prevail over all the other ways of life. Kulle, all the other ways of life, whether it be communism, secularism, Christianism, Judaism, Hinduism. Islam is destined to supersede all, to master them all, to overcome them all. Kulle. However much the mushrik don't like it, however much the idol worshippers don't like it. The similar message is given with a different ending in Surah Fatah, chapter number 48, verse number 28, where it says, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَالدِّينُ الْحَقِّ لِيَظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. That we have sent the messenger with guidance and the religion of truth, so that it will prevail over all the other ways of life. Whether it be Christianism, Judaism, Hinduism, secularism, Islam is destined to supersede all, to master them all, to overcome them all. And enough is Allah as a witness. وَقَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. Allah is giving witness. Allah is giving a promise that His deen will prevail over all the other ways of life, with or without you, with or without me. The rubbish that we are, what are we? Nothing. With or without me, with or without you, whether you do dawah or not, Allah does not require us to make His deen prevail over all the other ways of life. He does not require us. He is giving us an opportunity. He is giving us an opportunity. Make hay while the sun is shining. See, we know that Islam is going to prevail over all the other ways of life. When we know, we should do the job. Allah is giving us an opportunity to do a prophet's job and to earn a prophet's reward. I would like to end my talk by quoting the verse of the Holy Quran from Surah Nahl, chapter number 16, verse number 125, which says, "Udu ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal mawzatil hasana wajadilhum billati ahsan." That is, invite all to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, and argue with them and reason with them in the ways that are best and most gracious. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Shukran jazilan, Doctor. I listened very attentively for most of the time, other than the time when I was writing. I would like to make use of this opportunity of saying that I've had the privilege of serving with Ahmad Deedat since 1984. The opportunity came quite by accident, and I was very scared and very skeptical. I didn't know the scene. I was asked by Brother Salih Muhammad. And when he comes to Cape Town, as you may know, he does his rounds from the City Hall right down to Rocklands and in Mitchell's Plain, other quarters, Hanover Park, Wynberg, you name it. I've always felt, what happens when Ahmad Deedat leaves the scene? I'm no longer afraid. We have people, even in South Africa, who have taken it up. I now ask people in the audience here, if there's anything that you're not clear on what was said tonight, not what was said last week, tonight, then please come up to the microphone. We even welcome our sisters, please, to come and put your question. And if you have another question and there happens to be a queue, then after your question has been asked and answered, then go to the back of the queue. And please give the people ample time to put their question. And don't shout the person down. Let him ask whatever question he wants to. We now ask people to come forward and put questions so that you do not leave here with half the story. Shukran. Thank you. He says, do the job. It has been made easy for us. There's lots of references at your fingertips given by Ahmad Deedat. As explained by Doctor, it's also on the computer. He has given fantastic quotations tonight out of the Bible and out of the Quran, which makes you feel, but I can also do it. It is there for you. Please, if you need clarity how to get started, let us start the ball rolling by asking the question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Abu Bakr and I would like to ask a question. My question is, I am at the school where most of the students are non-Muslims. Could you advise me how to invite them to Islam?
Beautiful question.
The brother has asked a very good question. And he's asked that since he's in a non-Muslim school, where the majority of his classmates are non-Muslims, how should I invite them towards Islam? And as you may be knowing, there are various ways and styles of doing dawah. Whichever is effective, you use it. But the one that we have chosen at the Islamic Research Foundation is that instead of speaking 1,000 good points about Islam, normally what people say that Islam, we have got so and so good points, we don't have alcohol, etc., 1, 2, 3, 4, and we note. Instead of speaking 1,000 good points about Islam, what we have a way that first we ask the non-Muslims that what do you feel is wrong with Islam? Which are the negative points of Islam? Because even if you speak 1,000 good points about Islam, and if that non-Muslim has 2 negative points about Islam, he will never agree with you. He will agree those 1,000 points are good, but still he will say, these Muslims, they marry more than one wife. These Muslims, they are circumcised. So what we do, that first we pose them the question, that what do you feel is wrong with Islam? Which are the things you don't agree with whatever little bit of Islam you know? And believe me, we have done a survey and we have come to know that the average non-Muslim, the 90% non-Muslims, they don't have more than 15 to 20 questions about Islam. They don't have more than 15 to 20 questions against Islam. So when we train a da'i, we first equip him with the answer to these 15 to 20 questions. They are the common question which all may be aware of, that why do the Muslim men are allowed to marry more than one wife? Why are the women kept in the veil? Why is 2 women witness equivalent to 1 witness of man in Islam? Why do the women inherit half? Why is the Muslim man circumcised? Why don't you all have pork? Why don't you all have alcohol? Aren't you all ruthless people having non-veg? All these are the common questions. And believe me, if you can master these 15 to 20 questions, you can win over at least 90% non-Muslim.